Yes for Love. Stories from the LGBTI community across Australia.
Hi, I'm Bronte Price and I'm a registered marriage celebrant, civil marriage celebrant in fact, and I'm also gay.
Tell me what it feels like being an openly gay man, marrying people, and knowing that you can't experience that yourself.
Yeah, there are times when you have to say the words from the Marriage Act about marriage in Australia being between a man and a woman, and there's this little lump that sometimes rises up in my throat, and that can get quite emotional. In a broader sense, though, every time you do it, you just come away thinking, I just did something that I can't take advantage of or have the opportunity to do myself because I'm gay.
Can't you just not say marriage is between a man and a woman? Marriage is between two humans, surely.
So one of the requirements in each marriage ceremony that occurs in Australia is a requirement that we have to say those words or we're in breach of the Marriage Act, which is a very serious thing and could lead to deregistration as a celebrant. So the Marriage Act is overseen by the Attorney General's Department, which of course is the same department that registers us as civil celebrants, and it's as I said, a very serious thing. You can't change either the words or the order of the words. They have to be said exactly like this. There was a forum just the other day where a celebrant asked the forum, the couple wants to say this marriage is between a man and a woman, and all of our advice was it's about the concept. Marriage in Australia is, according to law in Australia, is between a man and a woman, period.
I went to a wedding for some very close friends, probably one of my best friends, and she asked the celebrant to remove those words specifically because she didn't want to offend me, and the celebrant said then your marriage isn't recognised.
That's it. It's not. It's technically not marriage, you know. So we've been trained very hard about that, and I don't know of any celebrants who would want to threaten their celebrancy career by saying something that is in breach of the Marriage Act or not saying something.
And what would it mean to you for marriage equality to be made legal?
For me personally, it means that I get to marry my partner of 7 years, Clint, and we've started to dream about that. It's an interesting concept because many of the LGBTI couples that come to me and ask me to have a commitment ceremony for them at this stage have very little idea. So a commitment ceremony is simply a wedding without the legal aspects. And they have very little idea because as gay men and lesbians, we haven't been raised with this notion that someday we're going to get married, and we certainly haven't been schooled in what a wedding is about. So we start very much from a blank sheet, and I think that blank sheet is going to be pretty highly ungendered down the track. Most of us don't adopt gender-driven roles in our homes, so why on earth would we want to have a gender-driven wedding ceremony? My dream wedding really is to be surrounded by chosen family and friends who support us and me, to stretch those boundaries that I spoke about before, to do something, have a wedding that's really quite different. And that's all the aspects of that. I think working with wedding suppliers who get it, who really understand that marriage equality is here, and what that means. And what does marriage equality mean? It means that it's time to celebrate, I think. Acknowledge that there's been a history of fighting for this right, that we've been denied for so long, and that it's been put right. And I think that in the first few years anyway, I think that quite a number of ceremonies will refer to that fight and give thanks to those who have gone ahead of us and have, possibly died without the right to marry. So it's acknowledging all that and respecting all of that, but at the same time, I guess, acknowledging the seriousness and the sense of occasion that a change of legislation is going to enable us to have.
If you haven't sent back your survey, don't forget to get it done by October 27.
Yes for Love is a presentation by Joy for the Community Radio Network.